Everyone. Actually, good
All right.
afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
Great, great. Thank you for asking. My name is Juan Grimaldo with Keller Williams at the Grimaldo Group. And today we invited over Samson. I met him at the gym the other day, and I thought his story was pretty interesting. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Just the basics. Right now, I am married, and me and my wife are raising our little girl for 14 months. So that takes up a lot of my time. Uh, Work from home, and obviously also running my consulting company while I'm doing that. So a lot of my time spent with my daughter, but also with my business endeavors.
Okay, good, good. So the reason I brought you here is because I like to inspire people, right? I come from very humble beginnings, and I came here with literally nothing, and God has blessed us, and tenfold with everything, a lot of abundance in every which way.
Sure.
When we were talking at the gym when I met you, you mentioned that you come from another country, correct?
Sure, sure. Yeah,
Where are you
absolutely.
originally from?
Yeah, so that's even a longer story, but I
That's
was
okay.
born
We
in
got time.
Yeah, for sure. I was born in Ethiopia. All of my family, both my parents, and I have three other siblings, all born there, and we migrated here in '96. My mother and my two older sisters and my little brother. My father was already here in the States for about 5 years before we joined him. Going to school and whatnot. So yeah.
Ethiopia, huh? So what is it like? What made your parents move out of Ethiopia?
Circumstance. My dad was currently at the time was working for the government at that time, and they sent him to uh, New Orleans to go to Tulane University to study in their public health department to get his PhD, so he could go back and run a section of the country's public health
Oh, perfect.
program. Yeah, and while he was here, there was a civil war that broke out, and he took political asylum. Why that long stretch of why he wasn't with us, and then the way we joined him was through a lottery. My mom won to be given visas to come to the country. So God and circumstance, and 5 years apart, we finally joined him, and that's why we in the States, and that's why we ended up in New Orleans. Just circumstance.
Wow. So tell me, so you did you live through that war that was going on over there?
Yeah, there was some of it, and I mean, I was young, but I heard that at one point there was a bullet that came through the roof that we were living in, and they still have that bullet shell, the shell. So it was real, you know. Obviously, none of it is a part of my memory, but from what I hear from my mother, it was a scary time, you know. Like now that I'm an adult with a child, I could only imagine what's going through my parents' minds, being, you know, oceans apart, and this was happening, and my mom had to kind of take care of the household, and my dad was here. So I don't remember it, but I hear about it, and it was something that was trying, you know.
I bet. Yeah, that's a little that's scary, right? To go through that and imagine and we were actually talking about this. I'm an immigrant. I was born in the States. My father was a strawberry picker. He was a farm worker.
Sure.
Many times he came here just to but most of his life. When he was 18, he came over to the States and he came to work in the fields, doing really hard labor. And that was even a better alternative than staying in Mexico and
Sure.
basically, living really, really at a very level that was so poor. I mean, they were so poor they had to risk their
Sure.
life to get here. So,
Yeah.
when it comes to that, how do you feel? So, it seems like you don't have a memory, which you were a little kid when you came here. What do you think when you live here? Do you see opportunity?
Oh yeah, and those opportunities are very keen to me, particularly because I think of me being a foreigner. And it was actually 2001 or 2002 when I went back for the first time since I came here. I was 15, turning 16. I think that was a very
Wow.
pivotal moment in my life where I saw what the other side of the world, particularly the place that I'm from, you know. being 8 in America, you quickly become Americanized. You enjoy the comforts of what America has to offer, and you forget how other people in the world live, especially people where I'm from. So when I went back, that was at 15, turning 16, I would say that was a very like a eureka moment in my life where I realized, man, this life is short. Everything became in perspective. I remember coming back to school, my grades became sophomore year, became better. I was just more focused and more driven. And it was because I saw things that I didn't, thank God I didn't have to experience, but I see that other people experiencing, and that impacted me. That definitely impacted me.
So go deeper on that. So what did you see? So do you feel like you have a better life here in the States than if you were to stay in your country?
Oh, that's all relative, right? I think that's all relative because as I mature, I start realizing better life is all subjective to that person. So I can't really
Exactly.
answer that question. I'm just happy that I'm here because I do
Amen.
love the life I have. So I can't pontificate on what could have, should have, would have. I'm here, and I'm looking to make the best life I have here and hopefully go back there and help other people make better lives. But I do say there's something beautiful from my country that I'm still I took from me, that my family took, which is the culture, the tradition. And doesn't matter what how much money the country has or not. That's the beauty, I think, in the people. So
Exactly. And I think that's key, right? Where I come from in Mexico, it's a beautiful country. People are
sure,
beautiful.
sure,
Unfortunately, there's circumstances that happen, like the Civil War that broke out,
sure.
and you have no control. There's just things that are way beyond our control, and you have to just make the best out of it. So what shifted your mindset when you went there and you came back and now you're working harder? What made you a shift? What was that? You said a pivotal moment. Was there something in particular that touched you, or?
There were different things. Like there was so it was me and my little brother. I was 15 and he was like 11. So we got very comfortable. We were living in my aunt's house, and we started taking public transportation and going to like the hangout spots. And there was this spot that had basketball. That was like an arcade for kids, and that we just became. Then we were on vacation, so we just kept going there every day. There was some kids, who like they know that we're Ethiopians, but that went to America or a different country and came back. So they noticed, our shoes are newer and all of that. So it was a little bit intimidating. They grouped us around, and they kind of hassled us, threw a little rocks at us. It wasn't nothing, but it changed my life to know that like they they don't have it, they don't have it. So like, and I saw a mother breastfeeding her child. In the streets. She was poor, but she was so malnourished. She had nothing to give him. So like, these very
Oh, man.
real things that I saw kind of stuck in my eyes, and I just stopped taking things for granted. Like I
That's
come
awesome.
from here, and there are people still living here. So I want to make my opportunity to sacrifice my parents made count. Like leaving your home and coming to a brand new place.
Exactly.
That's yeah, with your family is scary, but you hope it works out. And I'm trying to do that every day. Make it count.
Very good. Well, I mean, we have an amazing place here, and again, we when we go back to Mexico too, we reflect on that, right? We're so blessed that
Sure.
sometimes because we're in here, it's like we're in a fish in water, we don't realize we're in the water, right? Because we're there, that's our
Mhm.
environment. Yet when we
Right.
go back and we see the difference, and you're like, man, I complain about, I don't know, the shoes or whatever, when people down there don't even have shoes, that
Sure.
it's just crazy, the things that we take for granted. So
Yeah.
that being said, so you have a successful business. We talked about this, and the reason you're here is because of that. I want to help you reach out to those people that maybe may benefit from your business. And
Yeah.
if you want to share a little bit about what you do now and what's that business?
Yeah. So as we talked in the gym, in late of 2019, I just filed for my LLC, but it wasn't really until 2020 I started getting a lot of traction with it. So I'm still learning, I'm still developing, but I think I have something to offer those that don't, that wants to get into entrepreneurship, that wants to get into business. My background by trade, I worked for the federal government for 10 years. So I was a contracting officer. So procurement and acquisitions is my backfield. So there's a lot of opportunity. Most people don't know that it's on the government side. It's billion-dollar industry that most people are afraid to kind of talk about or go into. So I kind of want to like remove those barriers and at least set them up and, you know, see what's out there, because government work is a lot of opportunities. So it's an umbrella of things that I'm doing, but right now I'm focusing on particularly strategies. So if you are someone who is not, you know, you have a lot of things going on and the roadmap is unclear, you know, a good counsel, someone who listens to you and kind of help you unravel those and put things in place and give it to you and get you successful, you know, reach out, you know, we'll talk about it. And I'm always willing to expand my knowledge, but I'm always honest. If I can't do it, I'll tell you, hey, I can't do it, but I find somebody who can help you out. So yeah.
So if I hear you correctly, you help people get into business or contracts with the government. You show them the ropes, you show them how it is, you show the opportunities, and kind of guide them in the process, correct?
Yeah, I set them up. There's a lot of paperwork to do. So a lot of them don't even know where to start. So, you know, I've kind of simplified the process from my own experience, but also setting up my own entity to do business with the government. I'm certified to bid on government contracts.
Nice.
I've also helped, excuse me, I've also helped another client of mine set his business up. And eventually I'll get into helping write proposals or whatnot, but mainly just setting the infrastructure, right? This is what it is. You're set up, go be great. If you need more help, let's come back. Let's talk about what you need, and then we'll figure it out. So mainly I'm focusing on that, and again, strategies and anything that has to do with business development.
Very good, very good. So how can people find you?
Yeah, social media is probably the best way. So I'm on Instagram, and all of my contact information is there. You could book right there a free consultation. So it's at agc.llc. From there, you can find my email, my phone number, my website, and then yeah, just reach out, and then we'll go from there.
Love it, love it. Well, Samson, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you for sharing your story with us. We're so happy that you came to this space, and let us know if he can help you guys. If you guys are thinking about opening your business and maybe you have no idea where to start, he can give you some good advice. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody,
Appreciate
have an
it,
amazing day.
Pleasure meeting
See you
you,
in
man.
the gym.
Thank you. Oh, yeah,
All right,
later,
bro.
man.
Take care.
Take care.